Hello! So there will be priority queue on day 0 for Springleaf residences, and that's why this is very important. So in today's video, I will be sharing with you if you are eligible for priority queue and you have a very good queue number, or you can skip the queue because you are on priority queue, how should you be selecting your unit? Because if you select the right unit, you can easily earn 70,000 in one day or 100,000 in one day as compared to your neighbors. But if you select the wrong unit, right, you will actually be not making use of your priority queue. It's a waste to have a priority queue and you are not choosing the right unit. So you need to watch to the end of the video. Even if you are not selecting for the Springleaf residences, this knowledge can also be applied to other new launches, not just Springleaf residences. So other new launches that are coming out like Zion Grand, and also like when you're choosing Promenade Peak, Campbell Crescent residences, these skills can be applied the same way. So I'll be teaching you some tips so that you can choose the right unit better than the neighbors that bought after you. A lot of times people are very nervous on a priority booking or on the day 0, day 1 when they have a very good queue number. And do you know why are they very nervous? Because the developers only give you the prices of the units, around 3 units at one time or maximum 5 units at one time. So when you have so little information and the queue is moving so fast, you tend to choose the wrong unit, and with the wrong unit selection, you will lose out in terms of the profits that you can earn in the future. So the Springleaf Residences floor plan actually came out yesterday, and I rushed out to have this video for you so that I can do a full video analysis in terms of all the floor plan and layout. So please take some time to help me like and share this video with your friends if it's something useful to you. And if you haven't already done so, help me to follow my Telegram group chat. It's called Jia En New Launches Update, or you can easily scan this QR code because I'll be updating all the latest new launch news and also updates into this group chat so that you will not miss out any information as your buyer today. So what will I be going through with you today? The most important things and good news is that if you are owner or current tenant of Coco Land or Hong Leong development right now, there is a priority queue. So if you want to know whether you are eligible to be a priority queue, which means you can skip, we do not choose the units on the Saturday or Sunday, we choose the units one day before on Friday. This is something that you need to look out for. Later I'll be sharing with you the list shortly. And if you are eligible for a priority queue, how are you going to select the units on the day itself? Because there will be a lot of people at the same time. This priority queue actually also happened for the Lentor Mansion, and there were more than 200 units sold on day 1 just because of priority queue. So do not think that the priority queue is only you alone. There is a long list of projects, and you really need to know how to be the priority if you're eligible, and if you have a very good queue number, how can you choose the units afterwards. Next, I'll also be sharing with you about the project information for the Springleaf residences, including the site plan and all the different unit mix. This will be a mega development for more than 900 units, so it's very important because too many units for you to select. And last but not least, there's also the price and layout, which layout is actually safer and better for you. And if you're entering into Springleaf today, what is a safe entry price for you to enter? And if you feel that this video is too long, just skip all the way to the last, where I will summarize all the tips for you for the Springleaf residences so that you can choose the right unit on the launch day itself. So where are all the projects that are already eligible for the priority booking on the day? Take a look at this list. So there is one list by the Hong Leong projects, and there's also one list by the Coco Land projects. So these are the list of 38 projects by the Hong Leong past developments. So take a look if you have any relatives that is staying in this development currently, or before that you actually buy this development and you have proof that can say that, oh, I was actually from Bartley Residences, or I am currently in a unit at Bishan Park. I also bought Hedges Park before, and I also have a relative that bought Casa recently, which is the freehold in Flora Drive. So these are the projects that you need to take a look, because if you're currently staying inside, likelihood you're eligible for the priority booking for this day itself. Next, we have the Coco Land Pass project. So Coco Land Pass projects, we have a total list of 42 units over here. So the 42 units includes a lot of development. So the ones that I mentioned previously around Lentor area actually includes the Lentor Mansion and also the Lentor Modern. And for those who are staying at different parts of the Singapore, you might be familiar with like Aquarius by the Park, Martin Modern, and also like the Woolwich residences. So take a look. If you have time, you can screenshot and see if your relatives that are currently staying there right now, or currently you are tenant or owner of all these locations, you are eligible for priority queue, and you can earn more than your neighbors, at least 70,000, 100,000 just in one day itself. So it's very important if you are already keen in Springleaf residences and you can skip the queue, or if you are already owning here, you think that actually why not have another investment project, you should definitely look into Springleaf because not very often you have developers that are willing to give you priority queue, which means you have a better chance of selecting a unit before that. Choose a better facing, better price, and lock in your profits. So when you go down to the show flat itself on the balloting day, it's actually very confusing. So you can see from this picture over here, you will see a lot of people queuing just to see the show flat, and there is like a long queue waiting just to buy this unit itself, and you will feel very nervous. So how do you select the right unit on the balloting day? Because you have very little information, you need to make the information immediately. Every time the developer only give you 3 to 5 unit prices, and maybe you shortlist your favorite unit or favorite stack, when you realize, hey, the unit is already gone already, what is your next alternative? Do I switch to another deal? And it's so stressful, how are you going to choose a unit? And that's why I'm going to share with you some tips that you can do if you already ballot or you are keen to go with Springleaf Residences. But if you still feel that it's very complicated, no worries. It's very important for you to have the right agent. My number is just on the top, 94314533. You can contact me via WhatsApp and I'll actually reply to you shortly because it's so important for you to choose the right unit. So this is actually Lentor Mansion that is already 100% sold. So Lentor Mansion, right, in fact it was actually 75% sold on day 1 of the launch because it is so popular and the price is very good. It's the same developer using the same strategy, Coco Land and also Hong Leong, and that's why if you have already missed Lentor Mansion, you shouldn't miss Springleaf Residences. And for Lentor Mansion, right, the actual booking was on 16 and also there is a priority day on the 15. But later when I show you the prices between 15 and 16, you get to understand what happens if the buyer choose the right unit, how much can they earn, and if they don't choose the right unit, their profits is actually not seen yet at the moment. So over here, you can see the Lentor Mansion site plan over here. There's a total of 533 units. But you need to know that Springleaf will be even more messier than here because Springleaf have a total of 941 units in Springleaf Residences. It's almost doubled as compared to Lentor Mansion. That's why it will be very chaotic and you will be super stressed on booking day itself. So if you already put a check, you definitely need to watch to the end of the video so that you do not feel so stressed on the day itself. So if you're eligible for priority day and you have a benefit, which layout should you actually choose or facing should you choose? Because there is a difference in the amount that you can make. So over here, I have a 3-bedroom example and I have a 5-bedroom example over here. So on priority day, right, there's actually a 15 March, 1 day earlier on day 0 in 2024, and the actual day was 16 March. And this happened for a lot of priority buyers, around 200 plus buyers on the Lentor Mansion itself. So this thing will actually repeat for Springleaf Residences. So if you choose the right unit on the priority day, what will actually happen to you? So for example, for the 3-bedroom, right, this buyer actually bought the same size, 1012 square feet for the 3-bedroom itself. And how much is the difference in the price? The difference in the price between 2.2 million and 2.27 million is around 70k in just 1 day between 15 March and 16 March. That's what priority queue can actually get you to earn around 70,000 in just 1 day if you're buying a 3-bedroom unit at the right selection on the day itself. And for the 5-bedroom itself over here, we have 3.3 million transacted on 15th of March, and 1 day later after the priority booking, it was transacted at $3.4 million. Take note that these two are both level 12 itself, so both at the same level itself, the difference in the price is around 100k, so you are profiting just 100k in 1 day because you choose the right unit. And that's why it's very important for you to select the right unit. If today you are investors saying that I really want to make money through the right unit selection from this new launch, you need the right agent to help you to select, and the agent must be very clear-minded, cannot be very stressed, because if the agent also don't know what he's doing, he don't know how to advise you how to choose the right unit so that you can earn 100k immediately on the first day and you're buying cheaper than your neighbor. So if you don't know which unit to prioritize, it doesn't mean that you cannot get your unit. It just means that you earn lesser than your neighbor lah. So it's important if you still don't have an agent or you want to have the right agent, my number is above. Or if you already put in a ballot, you have a ballot number, you don't know what to do, maybe you can text me. So if I have time, then I'll get back to you. Otherwise, all the best to you lah. And if you are very lucky to have a priority booking or you have a very good number, what if you don't have a right agent? This is what will happen. So this is for 4-bedroom over here for the Lentor Mansion, and both the layout are exactly the same, 1227. Both of them are actually type D2 layout of the Lentor Mansion. Both are pool facing. But do you notice a difference in price between 15 March and 16 March? The buyer on the 15 March, they did not take advantage of unit selection and they actually bought in higher than the buyer on 16 March. So this buyer on 15 March actually bought around $2.77 million for the 4-bedroom on 15 March. And next day after priority booking, a buyer managed to get a better price at $2.67 million. And how much is this difference over here in just one day? It's 100K. So if the agent knows what they are doing and can advise you, you can potentially be the one earning the 100K when you select the right unit, even though you do not have priority booking. So the main thing here is you need to choose the right unit, and this skill can be applied across all the different new launches. So I'll be sharing with you shortly how you can actually prioritize and choose the right unit on the day itself. So just now I was showing you about Lentor Mansion, and this is actually Springleaf Residences distribution chart. So total here you see many different colors and stacks over here and sizes, because there's a total of 941 units, which means on that day itself there's really a lot of stress and chaos. You have so many different units to choose from. Which one should you actually prioritize? So if you're first in queue and you don't know what to do, here are some tips that I have for you, because it's very important for you to choose the right one. So for example, you need to understand all the different layouts, which I'll be analyzing some of the layouts in this video itself. And when you understand the layout, what you can do is to consider which layout are you going for. So for example, are you going for the 2-bedroom standard, 2-bedroom basic, or the 3-bedroom standard? Which are the sizes that you are going for this investment itself? And on the day itself, when we take 3 prices or 5 prices from the developer each time, you need to understand what is the difference between the price premium across all the different stacks. There are some stacks that are facing the expressway SLE, some that are facing the Upper Thomson Road, and also the internal facilities like the pool. Different facing may have a different price tag, and this can help you to take advantage and earn some money on the first day itself. And at a certain level of price, you also need to calculate and see, is it worth upgrading from one size to another size? So for example, if you are looking at a C1 layout right now, do you think it's worth it to upgrade to a C3, C4, or maybe C6 layout based on the different price premiums that the developer is placing on the day itself? You have to analyze on the spot lah. So maybe I get the price right now, and within the next 3 minutes I let you know, okay, which one should I go for? C1, C3, C4, or C5? Okay, and after you choose a stack, right, you also need to understand per floor level jump. So between a low floor, mid floor, higher floor, and the highest floor, how much is a per level jump each time? Which one is a better floor and story for you? Which one is a better floor for you to consider based on the price gap that the developer have booked off? And if you're comfortable with the premium for the different facings, how much should the premium be? Is the premium a 5% difference across the better facing and the non-better facing? Should you actually go for the 5%? And if you're not comfortable, should you walk away and go to other new launch project? After all, you just want to make money as an investor. If we don't go for Springleaf, are there other District 26 Lentor projects that you can also consider, because they are all the same developers today? So I will be analyzing a bit over in this video and sharing some tips with you. So if you're still confused, you should definitely get your agent to help you lah. Otherwise, you can contact me. Same with my number from above. The key thing is, when you get the prices on that day itself, 3 units at one time, 5 units at one time, how are you going to choose the right unit that can let you earn the 100K or the 70K based on the different sizes that you're buying? How do you make profit in just one day and make yourself safer? So enough of the tips on how you can actually select the right unit on the priority booking day, or if you have a very good number, how should you select the units? Now I will share with you more about Springleaf and what are the myths that I've heard so far from the different buyers and market out there about Springleaf Residences. So some people are telling me, hey Jia En, Springleaf Residence, we have 941 units. So means this is a mega development, is it? Yes, this is a mega development, and some people will say mega development not good lah. Maybe you have too many competition, or I haven't heard Springleaf before. Springleaf is very far. There's no transformation, no views, very hard to go around, no amenities. Are all these myths or are all these facts? I'll be sharing with you shortly. So here's the facts I have about Springleaf Residences against the myths that the market has shared with me. So some people say that, oh, mega developments you cannot buy because you cannot make money, or there are too many units out there. We have here a few mega developments. So Springleaf over here is 941 units versus these bigger developments. So Normanton Park, there are a total of 1,862 units. Treasure at Tampines, a total of 2,203 units. Park Clementes, a total of 1,468 units. They are very big mega developments. They are even almost double or triple of this size of the Springleaf residences over here, but do they make money because they are actually a mega development? So how much do they make if they are making money? On average over here, you can see the numbers. So for Normanton Park, the average profits that the owners have made is around 255,000 up to 762,000. And for Treasure of Tampines, the average profit is around 328,000 up to $1 million for the biggest layout and choosing the right unit. Park Clementi's average of 419,000 profits up to also $1 million for the biggest layout and choosing the right unit. So very important here, mega developments, you can also earn a lot of money and there's a lot of opportunities because there's so many units to sell. Developers are very cautious when they price in the beginning, and that's why you can potentially earn up to $1 million if you're choosing a bigger layout, or if you're choosing the smaller layout, you can also have a very good average profits when you choose the right unit at mega developments. So the next concern that you might be also asking is, oh, I haven't heard about Springleaf, and Springleaf seems like it's very ulu, there's nothing nearby. How is Springleaf like? So there is a good news for you because there have been changes in the land zoning for the Springleaf area, and here I have the master plan for 2014, 2019 and 2023. Can you see what are the difference in the master plan across the years? So across these 10 years, the Springleaf have been changing. Initially in 2014, it was just a reserve land. So the reserve land is in yellow color itself, and in 2019, it changed to residential zone in the orange color. And where is Springleaf Residences over here? So Springleaf is right over here, right next to the MRT station. Within 2 minutes, you can reach the MRT station. And also, you can see that there is changes on top from this yellow color to orange color. This means that there will also be a plot of government land sale that is selling soon on top of the Springleaf Residences, and it's actually much more further away from the MRT. Over here, we also have forest right now that is reserved, so they'll remain as forests at the moment. In the next 10 to 15 years, according to master plan, you can still have a good view if you're staying around here, because right now this green area is reserved as a forest in the Springleaf Residences, and the future upcoming development is actually over here. So we have a lot of upcoming plans for the Springleaf Residences, and if you are a buyer today, will you rather buy into an area whereby there are a lot of changes and the government is pumping money inside, or you rather buy into a new launch whereby there's not a lot of future plots, or maybe there's not a lot of exciting developments like the Floral Drive area? So you can think about it, which one do you prefer? Something that have more changes, the price will go up higher, or somewhere whereby there's no upcoming developments? So in Springleaf, what you have here is a first mover advantage. So the other facts that we have about Springleaf is over here. So the main thing is that we are the largest plot of land size in the Thomson East Coast Line area, where you can see from the map earlier. So we are a mega development, and mega development, as you can see from the past, there's a good chance of you getting a good profit because the developers are being very safe on day one when they price the prices. Also, being in a huge development, you do not need to be concerned about the facilities because there's a lot of facilities like swimming pool, launch areas, and there's also a lot of different sky terraces in the Springleaf Residences itself, work areas for you to work, and also gym. So a lot of different facilities, you do not need to worry about that in a mega development, very suitable for family and staying. And most importantly, when you have a bigger development, likelihood you have a lower maintenance fee because you have more units to share together for the main sinking and maintenance fund. So this is something good that you have if you're going for a mega development. And most importantly, I feel that Springleaf is like a hidden gem because it's right next to the MRT on the Springleaf MRT, which is the Thomson East Coast Line. It's very easy for you to go to different areas like the Orchard area, Garden by the Bay, Shenton Way, Woodlands, super easy. And most importantly, you have the first mover advantage because this is the first plot of land right next to the Springleaf MRT itself. So you have a lot of growth areas, as I've shared with you. The government is developing the whole entire Springleaf area, and right next to the Springleaf Residences, we will be having a new mixed development with more than 20,000 commercial space. So it will be easier for you to get your groceries in the future, and there will be upcoming GLS in the nearby that could be further away from this MRT, and also the Thomson View condo has been en bloc. So people usually think that maybe the en bloc land plot will be cheaper, but if you add on to the construction and also like the taxes that the developer need to give the government, in fact maybe Thomson View might not be as cheap as this one. So if you can go into Springleaf Residences first because this is a mega development with a lot of opportunities and also price benefit for you on day 1 or day 0 for the priority queue. And one more important thing is, why is the Thomson View actually en bloc? So usually there is en bloc because the developers also see potential in the land itself, and they also see that there will be demand coming into the area. In fact, this Thomson View en bloc is one of the largest that is done in Singapore since the Chuan Park condo itself, and the total cost is $890 million. This is recently en bloc on the 1st of July 2025, so very exciting in the whole Thomson and Springleaf area. This is a development that you should definitely look out. Of course, if I have a choice today, I'll go for Springleaf first, because Springleaf Residences right now, right, when a developer have a lot of supply, they have 941 units, is there a chance for them to price safer for you to enter into this development? We can see from the prices later on. So here are some basic facts about the project, Springleaf Residences. Total there is 941 units over here. So we have 5 residential towers, and we also have a conserve building in Springleaf Residences itself. So the Springleaf Residences conserve building do not have a lot of units. The 2 units is around 3.4%. So the conserve building layouts are also very different from the towers. So I will share with you later on so that you can see what are the differences in terms of the layout. And over here, for the car park lots, right, we have a total of 80%, around 759 car park lots. So this is more than enough because it's just a 2 minutes walk away from the MRT to Springleaf Residences. We have plenty of car park lots, and we also have plenty of bicycle lots. So if you're someone who loves nature and cycling, no worries, 24% of bicycle lots over here. You can actually park your bicycles and also save some space or your home itself. You do not need to put your bicycle in your home because you can lock it in the bicycle lots in the Springleaf Residences. And how's the unit mix like? So over here we have 1 bedroom to 5 bedroom itself. We are actually split into the normal 5 towers and also the conserve buildings over here. So for the 2 bedroom we have 2 bed 1 bath, which is the basic, 2 bed 2 bath, which is the standard, and for the 3 bedroom we have a few different layouts that I will analyze with you later on, then followed by 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom over here. And in total we have 941 units. So there is a lot of units that you need to compare if you're looking at a particular unit size and budget, because here we have a total of 941 units. So this is the Springleaf Residences site plan over here. We have 2 side exit, one over here and one over here. So this is the facing that is nearer to the MRT itself, which is the Springleaf MRT. And over here we have the SLE expressway over here, and here towards the facing you'll be facing the Upper Thomson, and for this facing you'll be facing the different forests, you'll be facing the different nature parks. So where is the conserve building? The conserve building will be over here in this area itself, and the conserve building is actually conserved because of the Seletar Institute building, and they actually want to preserve this building because it used to be a school, and there are also a lot of alumni that go to this school before. So this will be the preserved building with some special unique layouts over here. The other main blocks will be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the day itself, we will decide between 941 units, which is a better facing. What are the different prices? Should you go for a higher floor or lower floor? All this on the day itself to select the right unit for you. Springleaf also have many different sky terraces across all the different 5 blocks itself. So they are also on different levels, 9, 16 over here, also level 13 and the 20th level over here. So no worries whether you're living a higher floor or lower floor, because there will be sky terraces across all the different blocks, and in the different blocks itself, through the sky terraces, there will also be sky lounge, gourmet lounge, so for you to eat and chill, go out with your friends. So every single blocks we have more than enough facilities for you to enjoy itself on the different levels of sky terraces. So how will the view be like over here at Springleaf Residences? So if you are facing over here, which is a Seletar SLE Expressway over here, we do have the expressway over here, but you have a very good view of the Thomson Nature Park. This is something that will be guaranteed for the next 10 to 15 years. You have a full unblocked view over here if you are facing towards the south over here. So next, you are facing towards the northeast over here. What can you expect? So what you can see is the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve and also the Upper Seletar Reservoir if you're going for the higher floors. It's also a very beautiful nature view over here, unblocked for the next 10 to 15 years. And because this is actually zoned under the parks at the moment, under the master plan itself. And if you are facing towards the north on top, you can also get to enjoy the whole entire forest over here. So this is actually a north view. And over here we also have the Singapore Zoo and also the Mandai Golf Course. So if you're someone that loves nature and you also love animals, on weekends when you're free, you can go with your family to go to the Singapore Zoo. There's a lot of animals there. So Springleaf is somewhere whereby it's not located too far off from the central in Singapore. Very convenient for you. At the same time, you can get access to different amenities like the Singapore Zoo during the weekends. So the first layout that we have over here at the Springleaf Residences is actually a 1 bed 1 bath. This is the smallest layout that we have over here in Springleaf Residences, and we do not have a lot of units. We only have 8 units of 1 bed 1 bath. So if you're someone looking for a proper 1 bedder for you to stay in a newly built development, and you are someone with a very tight budget, this is something that you can look out for, because this will actually be priced very cheap, below $1 million. So there's not a lot of new launch below $1 million today. This is something that you can keep your eye on. So where is this 1 bedder? It's actually on the Conserve building. That's why there's only 8 units over here. So towards here, you'll be facing the north and all the different facilities over here. So this is actually quite a comfortable size if you're looking to stay in a studio or invest in a studio. Less than $1 million for a new launch, but there's only 8 units. So it really depends on your luck and also your ballot number for this 1 bedder in this Springleaf Residences over here. So if you're looking at a 1 bedder in Springleaf Residences, how much will the price be actually from? So the developer also released the price yesterday. The price will be from $878,000 over here. So from $878,000 to get a 1 bedroom less than $1 million in Singapore new launch is very rare. This is because this layout is actually very efficient. And if you're looking at 1 bedder layouts in the other District 26 over here, right, we also have other developments for you to choose for. It includes Lentoria, Lentor Hills, and also the Hillock Green. But because all these sizes are also much more bigger, you can see that the average pricing for the 1 bedroom in the Lentoria, Lentor Hill, or also the Hillock Green areas right now, right, is around $1.4 to $1.5 million on average. But if you bring the $1.4 to $1.5 million budget to here in Springleaf Residences, you don't only just get 1 bedroom 1 bathroom, you get at least 2 bedroom, which I will share with you very shortly. So this is the 2 bed 1 bath and 2 bed 2 bath layouts that we have here at the Springleaf Residences. Remember, I shared with you that if your budget is around $1.4 to $1.5 million for a new launch project, if you are only going to the other Lentor projects, you can only get a 1 bedroom here. But because the size is very efficient in the Springleaf Residences, you can actually get a 2 bedroom layout over here, and it's quite worth it for you as an investor or staying here. So for the 2 bed 1 bath, we have the Type B1 over here, a total of 117 units for you to choose from. This is a very regular layout over here. The price is very attractive and it's a very typical unit. So you have selection between 2 bed 1 bath and 2 bed 2 bath in this whole entire Springleaf Residences over here. So for the 2 bed 2 bath, also a very typical unit. You can see 1 toilet, 2 toilet over here. The good thing that I like for the B2 layout as compared to the BC1 layout that is over at the Conserve building, you can see the main difference over here is actually the kitchen. So for this kitchen itself, right, I would feel that the B2 layout is actually much more efficient, because for the B2 layout, for example, if you want to enclose it in the future, I have clients that actually do a sliding door. So the sliding door can help to close this area when they cook, and they'll open up the door. So this gives you the possibility of making this open concept kitchen to a enclosed kitchen, versus for this kitchen over here, L-shape, maybe you can also enclose it, but it feels less efficient. Where am I going to enclose it, or how am I going to enclose this whole kitchen area? So B2 layout is definitely much more efficient as compared to the BC1 layout over here. And another difference over here for the BC2 layout is that you don't have something. What are you short of? So you're actually short of the balcony, because there is no balcony in the Conserve unit BC1 over here. So if you're someone that still prefer balcony because you can actually chill in the area, or hang your clothes, or maybe have some night drinks over here at the balcony area, then this is something that you prefer a B2 layout because you have a balcony as compared to a BC1 layout over here itself. So how are the prices for the 2 bed 1 bath layout? So I'll be sharing the prices for the 2 bed 1 bath first, then the 2 bed 2 bath, so that you can actually have a comparison in terms of which one is actually a better purchase for you. So for the 2 bed 1 bath layout, right, the price is also up for the Springleaf Residences. It will be starting from $1.078 million. So it's around 2040 PSF itself. So pricing at 1.078 million starting from for a 2-bed 1-bath is very attractive, because if you are looking at other units in the whole entire District 26, there is also 2-bed 1-bath. Your only comparable is over here at Hillock Green right now that only have 4 units, and the average price is $1.699 million, which $1.699 million you bring over to here at Springleaf, you get a better layout, a 2-bed 2-bath, a proper 2-bed 2-bath instead of 2-bed 1-bath at Hillock Green itself. And for the 2-bed 2-bath prices, how will it be like? So for the 2-bed 2-bath, there is 2 sizes, one that is the B1 and one is the BC1 at the Conserve building. So you can gauge the price here according to the lower floor all the way up to the highest floor. These are the prices that will be only released on the day itself. That's why we can only have the information on the day. You will be very stressed because right now I also don't have the information. We can only analyze the different layouts right now, and on the day itself then I will share with you about how you can shortlist a unit according to your queue number itself. So if you're also looking for a 2-bed 2-bath in the District 26 for other new launches, we have over here 10 units left at Lentora and 9 units left at Hillock Green. The average price is over here, so you can still see that there's a price gap between Springleaf Residences and also the current available units in District 26 right now. So there are some savings that you can make over here, even though it's just one MRT station away between Springleaf MRT and also the Lentor MRT itself. So for the different 3-bedroom layouts over here, it'll be very confusing because we have at least 8 layouts for the type C1 all the way to C8, and we also have different layouts for the Conserve building itself. So I'll be analyzing the main layouts over here. So for the main layouts over here, we have type C1, 786 square feet over here. So this is a proper 3-bed 2-bath. This is more like a dumbbell layout where 1 bedroom is actually on the left side and 2 proper bedrooms is actually on the right side. And because it's a dumbbell layout, the layout is much more efficient, and that's why the size is actually smaller as compared to the type C2 unit and the type C3 unit. The size will be smaller than them because of the space that is actually saved from the dumbbell layout itself. And over here between the C2 and C3 layout, you can also see some slight differences. So for the C2 and C3 layout over here, what we have additional is this dry kitchen and wet kitchen over here in the C3 area. And also you have an additional space of flexi room whereby you can use it as a storage room or also as a study room. This is something flexible for you to do over here. So we actually need to analyze on the day itself. Is it worth it for you to top up maybe let's say 100k, 150k or like 200k for you to get this additional dry kitchen and flexi room over here? How much is the difference and top up in the PSF itself from a type C1 layout to a type C3 layout? What is the average PSF in terms of top up for me to actually share with you? Is it worth it for you to top up to a bigger size for a proper 3-bedroom that have an additional dry kitchen and also a flexi over here? Then again, this 3-bedroom layout over here is all very efficient over here. So even for the smallest 786 square feet over here is a very typical layout whereby the price point will be very attractive. You have basically everything you need, which is a proper 3-bedroom and proper 2-bathroom and also kitchen for you to get a complete new development with minimal renovation costs. The price are very attractive. And when you're comparing with all the different 3-bedroom layouts, like I mentioned, there's also up to C8 units over here. So there's a total of 8 different kinds of layouts over here. So when we meet at the show flat, I will share with you exactly what are the differences between C1, C2, C3 all the way up to C8. Some of the sizes are actually very similar, and there is a small differences in terms of like the foyer area or like the kitchen. So I'll be sharing with you all these slight differences on the day itself, and then we will analyze during the booking day which one should we go for in terms of the top up. Is it actually worth it? So here we have one of the bigger units, which is the C7 1023 square feet over here. So this C7 1023 square feet over here, on top of the proper flexi that you have earlier in the C3 layout, we also have an additional bomb shelter, which is very good, because if you're someone with a family and you are planning to stay long term, home shelter is something that you might want to consider, because you can store all your different smaller items inside. And also over here we have a third bathroom over here, which is a powder room. This is also very good for people who love to be very clean. When a visitor comes into your house, you can tell them just go wash the leg right now. So a very good layout over here. Some of you might love it because this is a very efficient layout. And also you have separate dry kitchen and wet kitchen, which you can potentially enclose over here itself. So for the type CC1 and CC2, which are all the different layouts in the conserve building itself, this is something that you really need to take note of because of the size differences. So for the conserve units, right, the layouts are much more bigger. The bigger ones that we have over here is 1119 square feet as compared to the smallest one in the whole entire Springleaf of 786 square feet. The price gap in terms of this 3-bedroom itself could be as big as 400,000, 500,000 if you are going for one smaller unit versus the biggest unit. So the thing about the type CC1 and also the CC2 layout in the conserve building, you want to consider do you want to actually upgrade to the next layout type, which is also the 4-bedroom layout type, and how much is the premium if you were to upgrade, because the price differences between these layouts are actually very close. Maybe you just need to top up one additional 200,000 to get another proper room over here. So even though this type CC1 layout is much more bigger here, but does it mean that it's actually more efficient as compared to the type C7 or also the C6? Here's a close comparison that we can actually take a look. So we do not have a balcony that is at CC7, so there's no balcony, but in fact they have actually a smaller yard over here. And even though they have full-length windows over here, you might want to take a look at these areas, because these areas are actually like the columns that might block your view over here at the CC1 layout over here. And also here you do not have the bomb shelter, which is the household shelter that we have over here at the C7 layout, and you also do not have a flexi over here. So what it means is that for CC1 you get to have a bigger master bedroom, and you also get to have bigger rooms over here. But you do not get the additional flexible room, you do not get the additional household shelter, and you do not get the additional balcony. Is it worth it to actually stay in the CC1 as compared to the C7? This is something that you need to discuss with your agent and also determine, is it worth paying for a CC1, because I do not know whether the developers will put a discount in terms of the price for the CC1, because CC1 only have a few units. Total here we only have 8 units for the conserve unit of CC1 itself. So how would the price be like for all the different 3-bed 2-bath in the Springleaf residences? So what I have over here is actually the price matrix for all the different layouts over here. The smallest layout will be 786 square feet, and the biggest layout we have for the CC2 is actually 1259 square feet. So the price is already up for the 3-bedroom. It will be starting from $1.618 million, which means from $1.618 million onwards until the bigger size, starting from it could be until $2.5 million. So you can see the price gap. Even though you are also going for the same 3-bedroom size, the price gap is actually very, very huge between 1.61 and 1.518 million dollars. Do you want to upgrade if you are considering a bigger unit to a proper 4-bedroom, because that will be easier for you to exit versus this layout over here? Even though it's very, very comfortable, very spacious rooms over here, but the layouts over here might be priced much more higher. How are you going to exit in the future is something that you need to also think about it. And if you are also considering the other new launches in the whole entire District 26 over here, what are the prices for a 3-bed 2-bath in Lentora and Lentor Hills? Over here we have some units left. So we have actually 17 units of 3-bed 2-bath in Lentora and 5 units of 3-bed 2-bath in the Hillock Green area. Right now the average price is from $2.3 to $2.8 million itself. So if you are looking for something below $2.3 million itself for a proper 3-bed 2-bath, then you might want to consider Springleaf residences. However, if your budget is higher and you want to explore Lentora and Hillock Green, then you can also take a look at Showflat. You need to compare exactly what are the different additional spaces that are in these different developments. Is it worth paying maybe $200,000 more just for the bigger spaces in Lentora and Lentor Hills? So this is something that you need to compare. If you want to get a very good discount and bargain, then definitely Springleaf residences. Right now you can see the prices, it is the cheapest. Only maybe when you hit the price until your queue number, there's no other units left, your only other units left is like 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 up to 2.8, then maybe you want to compare all this. At the moment you can just compare Springleaf residences if you are going for something that is less than $2.3 million, because this is something that is the cheapest in the whole entire District 26 over here. So the last 3-bedroom bigger size that I haven't showed you is actually a 3-bed 2-bath CC2, and there is a total of 8 units over here. So this size is very, very huge at 1259 square feet, which means the price price will be starting from around $2.5 million just for this 3-bedroom size over here. So why is it so huge? If you can see, the good thing is that you have a huge balcony. But you need to think, how are you going to use this whole balcony area? Are you going to use it efficiently? Because if you're not going to use it very efficiently, then do you want to pay for a lower price and other alternative layout? Because the main difference that we have over here, right, is actually the huge balcony over here. And if you were to compare to the other layouts, some of the things that you do not have is actually the home shelter. The home shelter that is also missing, and also the flexi that the other layouts also have, because even though the other layouts are actually smaller, but they have all these necessary spaces and it's actually priced at much more cheaper. So if you're considering a 3-bed 2-bath CC2 layout, what I would suggest for you is to also consider, do you want to go to 4-bed 3-bath, which is the type D1 unit over here, because the size is very similar. One is 1259 square feet and one is 1227 square feet. For the same price point, you can actually get an additional room over here. There is a proper home shelter over here, and there's a proper segregation of wet kitchen and also dry kitchen over here. And the good thing is that even though you buy into the D1 layout, if you still prefer a 3-bedroom layout, what you can do is you can hack this wall away. So if you hack this wall away, you have a very huge living and dining area along with the balcony. This is also something more efficient for you to consider if you were to go for a D1 layout instead of a CC2 layout, because the sizes are very similar between 1259 and 1227. It will be much more easier for you to exit in the future. So between the type D1 and D2 layout, they are very similar. Both of them are actually 1227 square feet. The main difference that we have is actually over here, where the toilet is placed. If you ask me which one I'll prefer the type D1 layout, because the type D1 layout is actually much more rectangular and regular as compared to here, where you need to turn left just to go to the bathroom itself. Is actually quite odd for you to place it here. This will actually be much more efficient because the whole entire layout is much more rectangular as compared to the other one before. So between D1 and D2, my preferred will be D1, and actually both are at the same size, so likelihood the price will be very similar between the type D1 and D2 layouts. So how will the price be like for Springleaf Residences 4-bed 3-bath over here? So for the 4-bed 3-bath over here, the price is also out already. The price will be starting from $2.448 million. Starting price PSF will be 1,995 PSF. So it's very attractive as compared to your neighbours over here at District 26. We do have units that are left over from the 4-bed 3-bath in Lentora and Lentor Hill. A total of 21 units in Lentora and also 2 units in Lentor Hill. But the average price right now will be $2.8 and $2.9 million. And when you're comparing this price point, definitely Springleaf Residences is very attractive at this junction. And depending on your queue number, then you can decide, should you go for Springleaf Residences or go for your neighbor new launches at the District 26 itself. And last but not least, we have the 5-bedroom layouts over here. So 5-bedroom layouts, we have two types of units only, type E1 and E2, and one is 1453 square feet and one is 1475 square feet. These are very two similar layouts over here. So at a glance, you can't really tell the differences between these two E1 and E2 layout over here, but I want to highlight these differences over to you for E1. This is something that I really like over here. So E1, if you can see, this will be actually a glass window and this will be the balcony. So what does it mean? You can actually get a very good airflow and ventilation in this 5-bedroom itself, because you can open the windows over here itself, and the unit will also be much more brighter and have a better ventilation because you have light coming in from both sides, as compared to the E2 unit, where this is actually a wall and you do not have light coming in from here itself. So this is one of the main differences between the type E1 unit and also the type E2 unit over here. And my preferred unit to choose for a good bell number will be E1 first, then compared to E2, because E1 layout, you have much more lighting coming into it. So this is also a very efficient layout that I like. Very good job to Hong Leong and also Gogoland for having such a good layout over here. We have all the things that you need. A junior master that is separated on the left side, so that if your parents is coming to stay with you, you do not need to worry about privacy. They can stay on the left side. And on the right side, we have the other 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedrooms. If you feel that you don't need a proper 5-bedroom, what you can do is to actually hack away this wall over here if you prefer prefer to have a bigger living and dining space over here, then this whole entire area will be very nice and comfortable for your family to stay inside. Plus you have the ventilation and also brightness and air from this window over here. So this is a very beautiful, perfect layout for the 5-bedroom. Good job to Cocoland and also Hong Leong Residences over here. So for the 5-bedroom layout, what is the entry price? The prices are starting from $3.018 million onwards, and there is no other units that you can find for the 5-bedroom in the other new launches in the District 26, because 5-bedroom layouts are very rare. So if you have a very huge family and you're looking for a bigger layout, this is something that you cannot miss out, because for the 5-bedroom layout, sometimes they're in fact the ones that are being sold first because there is a lack of supply. So when there is a low supply, what does it mean for buyers or investors? If you remember, you see the mega developments like the Normanton Park, Park Clementes and also the Treasure, you can see the bigger layouts are the ones that actually earn more money. They earn up to $1 million in profit because of the low supply over here. When there is a low supply, does it mean that the owners can actually ask for higher premium, because likelihood the rest of the neighbors in the whole entire 5-bedroom, they're staying for themselves, they do not want to sell away. That's when you have a low supply and you can potentially get a better and more attractive profit at the end of the day. So here's a main summary of all the entire analysis that I've done for the Springleaf Residences over here. We have a lot of benefits because for Springleaf Residences, you are very lucky. There's a chance for you to get a priority queue if you are already staying in developments that are already developed by Hong Leong developer or also the Cocoland developer. And for you to get in the priority queue, if you select the right unit, you can earn 70,000 or 100,000+ or more in just one day itself if you select the right unit. But if you do not know how to select the right unit, likely you will choose the wrong one and you'll watch your neighbor earn the additional 70k or 100k. So if you are someone that have a good queue number or you want to choose the right unit, this is a very good thing, because in Springleaf Residences, such a mega development, likelihood the price will be very attractive. So if you don't know whether you are in priority queue, there is a list that I've placed at the start of the video. You can check whether you are currently staying or whether your relatives that actually bought these Cocoland or Hong Leong projects like the Lentor Modern, the Cassia, you are eligible to be in the priority queue, so you can skip the queue. Next, even though you do not have a priority queue over here, no worries, as I shared with you, because this is a mega development and the developer have a lot of supply, there is a high chance that they will price it very attractively. And we can see from the price analysis in the earlier slides that the price is much more cheaper than the neighbors in the Lentor areas as compared to Lentor new launch. And also you can enjoy a lot of facilities, including all the different sky terraces at all the different towers itself, lower maintenance fee and a better long-term value, because this is one of the first plot of land that is in the Springleaf area and there are a lot of plots that are coming out in the future. And also if you're someone that is concerned about location itself, this development you only need to walk 2 minutes to the Springleaf MRT, so it's very close to the MRT itself. And from the Thomson East Coast line, you can easily get to the Orchard area, Garden by the Bay area, or also like the Woodlands area. This is something very easy for you. You have the first mover advantage. So there's a lot of benefits for Springleaf Residences and I'm very excited. If you need more information, feel free to contact me on my number above, 94314533. And you haven't done so, remember to join my Telegram group chat, because I'll be updating all the latest new launches information. Your considerations will be if you have a good queue number or if you have a priority booking, how are you going to calculate all the different price premium and select the right unit on the day itself? Because you have very limited information, you can only get 3 units or 5 units prices at one point. And is it worth upgrading to the next unit size? When you're there at the booking itself, you must make a decision on that day itself. So you really need someone that is very clear-minded, understand all the different layouts and all the different price difference for you to choose the right unit for the Springleaf Residences. So this comes to the end of the video. If you're interested to see Springleaf Residences, just drop me a text at this number itself. The preview will start from 1st August and the booking date will be on 16th August itself. If you enter on day 1, there is a very high chance you get a very good price, and you can actually at least earn 70,000 as compared to your neighbors, like what I've shown you earlier, if you choose the right unit. So in a mega development, it's very important for you to choose the right unit so that you can lock in your profits. This is also a very beautiful development development over here because you see many sky terraces in all the different areas, and there's a very nice architect. Also, you have a conserved building and many facilities. So I'm very excited for the Springleaf Residences. If you need any more information, just feel free to drop me a text and I'll be happy to show you around the show flat. And I'll see you next week. Thank you, bye bye.